So this is, of course, the big breaking news that we are tracking at this moment. The cabinet has given a go-ahead to that 8,000 crore rupee mega package for the sugar industry. Remember, this has come in after we saw last year that there was a very high sugar production, due to which prices have been depressed, and this package is now going to give a much needed relief not only to sugarcane industry but to the 5 crore sugarcane farmers as well. So this will come in as a big relief, as big shot in the arm. There are two important decisions that the cabinet has taken today. The first decision, of course, is to create a buffer stock of close to 30 lakh million ton. Now this buffer stock of 30 lakh million ton will ensure that there is an ample amount of supply that reaches the market, the prices don't get depressed in the market, and we will also be looking at certain incentives of close to 1,200 crore rupees given to the sugarcane factories in order to create this buffer stock. The second important decision is that of a minimum selling price. Now remember, a minimum selling price of close to 29 rupees per kg will ensure that the prices in the market is not depressed. It will ensure a minimum price that the farmers can take in a when they go and sell their produce in the market. So this will come in as a big support, a big relief. Remember also, this is coming in at a time when there were arrears of close to 22,000 crore rupees, 22,000 crore rupees worth of cane arrears that were pending, which was of course a big cause of concern. Apart from that, we're also understanding that the government will be giving incentives of close to 4,400 crore rupees for ethanol blending. All in all, this is coming in as a big shot in the arm. This is coming in after Kairana bypolls and after a lot of stress has been seen in states, sugar producing states like UP and Maharashtra, so much so that the government 2 months ago had given various relief measures for the sugarcane industry, including subsidies as well. And now again this mega relief package, and also coming in at a time when the government is talking about coming out with a sugar cess for the sugarcane industry, for the sugar mills under the GST. So a big relief coming in. Sweet news certainly for all the sugar companies as well.
Ruchi, thanks much for that. Let's also bring on board the spokesperson from ISMA, Abhinash Verma, is now joining us to discuss a bit about this big development for the sugar company. Mr. Verma, thanks a lot for coming on board. It's a big news for the sugar company. The cabinet has cleared the mega 8,000 crore package for sugar cane farmers. Just give us, your first cut reactions on this big development, because the MSPs has been fixed at 29 rupees. We have Rajashri Sugar's management also joining us. Let's go across to him first. Rajashri Pathi is joining in. Mr. Pathi, thanks much. You are one of the biggest beneficiaries of this mega package that the government has cleared, 8,000 crore sugar package to support sugarcane farmers. The government is going to fix the minimum selling price for sugar at 29 kgs and will also create a 30 lakh million tons buffer sugar stock to balance the demand-supply mismatch. Just come in on this. How big a boost is it for your industry and for your company as well?
Hi, I'm Rajshri. Happen to be female, by the way, but it's all right. Thank you very much. I think this is a big congratulations to the government for this huge bailout package to the sugar industry. I'd like to note that the problems of UP, the industry in UP is one of excess, and in the south where Rajshri Sugars is situated, it is a problem of deficit. So we have to actually analyze just how much of the benefits that have been announced actually trickle down to our own situation. I think, but this is a welcome move. It's a very positive move that the government is looking at taking care of the farmers. And our first responsibility is to our farmers. And I think this ethanol is a fantastic thing to be giving this price for ethanol. The MSP for sugar could have been a little higher. We were hoping about 30 to 31 rupees. However, I'm happy it is, at least there is that idea, and it has been fixed at 29. So it will stall the downward fall of prices in the coming year. However, the biggest thing that is really tormenting us is the banks, and I wish the government of India will do something to talk to the RBI not to treat the sugar industry in par with other industries. We are not defaulters, but we are only asking for a deferment of loans, and I think this is something that the government of India should really look at as well.
Hi Rajshri, this is Nayantar from New Delhi studio. I'm just going to ask you to hang on because I'm going to go across to Abhinash Verma as well, the Director General of ISMA. We look forward to having this conversation with both of our panelists. Hi Mr. Verma, it's Nayantara. You know, we interviewed you immediately after breaking the story about how this massive financial package is in the works. I'm going to call it as how every citizen is seeing it. You guys are the first beneficiaries of the drubbing that the BJP received in Karnataka, as well as the recent by-polls. We all know how big a sugar belt Uttar Pradesh is. Rajshri saying the sugar price should have been fixed at 31 rupees. My question is, why should it be fixed at all? It's at 29 rupees. You're seeing sugar prices fall. It's at the lowest level in 28 months. There is a glut in the market. Is this really the right way to go?
First of all, the biggest problem that we are facing is a fixed sugarcane price which is fixed by the central government, and that has been continuously increasing. Whereas our revenue, which comes mainly from sugar, that is almost about 80-85% of the total revenue earned by any sugar company would be only from sugar. So if the sugar prices in the last 6 months has fallen by about 25 to 30%, obviously the industry is unable to afford the kind of price that the central government wants or the state governments want the farmers to get. Clearly, if you look at the FRP, that average all India FRP that we have to pay to the farmers, it is at 290 rupees per quintal of sugar cane, which we are forced to pay to the farmers. To pay that kind of a price, if you back calculate as per Rangarajan committee formula or the calculation of our cost of production from sugar cane and the cost of conversion, everything comes down to around rupees 35 per kilo of sugar. If anything below that we get, obviously it will not be enough for us to be able to afford the price that the central government wants the farmers to get. To answer your question, why should there be a price, guaranteed price? We don't want a guaranteed price by the government. We want the market forces to work on both sides. You can't have the raw material side fixed or controlled by the government and you want the product side to be free. It cannot happen like that. Either both sides should be totally controlled or both sides should be totally free. Now, any industry in India works on total freedom and independence. We do not want any control by the government. Therefore, our first request to the government, which is a very long
I also invite my in-house expert Maithili into this conversation. My question to you and to Rajshri also will be, 29 rupees right now, is that above the market price, below the market price, or is this the market price?
I can't wait. I have lots of channels.
No, Maithili, I mean, Neha, 29 rupees is neither here nor there. I mean, at this price, as what Avinash has just told you, I mean, it will stall the further downtrend of the prices, but it doesn't really help. So it's neither here nor there. Because the price of cane is far higher and the conversion cost. After all, we are converters.
Abhinash Verma, you know, you have been fighting against the control in the sugar industry. You've already said either you should have full control or you should have full decontrol. Are you with Rajshri on this, that this is neither here, neither there? What is all of this going to do with all the arrears that are owed to the farmers? Has that been taken care of? Every few years, this problem reaches a crescendo, and every that time, then we need government intervention.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If the government is going to continue to fix the price of sugar cane, then obviously it's going to be very difficult for this industry to survive. Just to give you a comparison, the A2 plus FL cost that the government is today talking about and saying that the MSP for all the crops should be fixed at 50% above the A2 plus FL cost. The sugar cane price that the government of India has fixed for the current season is twice 100% more than the A2 plus FL cost. So clearly, the farmers are almost getting almost about 50 to 60% more from sugarcane as compared to any other crop. That is on one side. Two, as I mentioned, if the government's FRP is to be paid by us, we require a price of about 35 rupees for sugar at our mill gate, which we have submitted and again to the Government of India, that if you're really looking at a very justified or a reasonable minimum price of sugar, it should be linked to the FRP that the government has fixed. And from any kind of calculation, the minimum price should have been 35 rupees. So therefore, I agree totally with Madam Rashtripati that 29 rupees is neither here, neither there.
Mr. Verma, let's also talk about the entire quantum of the package. It is 8,000 crore worth. We had interacted with Mr. Manikam from Shakti Sugar a couple of days ago when we first broke the story. He was saying that there are several farmers who have not been able to even repay the package which was offered to them in 2014-15, and banks have been also putting a fair amount of pressure on them. So with that as the backdrop, now this 8,000 rupees package which has been offered by the government, they're looking at about 1 to 2,000 crores on the buffer stock, and the rest will go towards ethanol. Is 8,000 a justified amount? Because clearly Mr. Manikam from Shakti Sugars was not happy knowing that it could be the likely quantum. This was when the news was not official.
Yeah, let's break down that 8,000 crore into three parts. One, it comes from the production subsidy, which has already been announced at 5.5 rupees per quintal of sugarcane, which goes directly to the farmers, amounting to about 1,560 crore. Second, as you mentioned, 1,200 crore for the buffer subsidy. And third is a loan amount, which is to be given for creation of capacities for ethanol production for about 4,400 crore. Now, clearly this is a loan. So I don't know whether you should include 4,400 into your package of a SOP or a benefit or an incentive to the industry. Yes, the government does propose to take care of about half of the interest burden, which would come out to about 1,300 crore. So if you look at the package, I would say it will be about 4,500 crore, number one. Number two, the 5.5 rupees of cane price subsidy that the government is looking to give to the farmers, which will reduce our burden, they have put certain conditions. And one of the conditions I have mentioned several times, we have represented several times to the government, is a retrospective condition which 40% of the industry was not able to fulfill. Therefore, if 40% of the industry doesn't get that 1,560 crore, obviously the package really comes down. So the government needs to sit down and see the ideas are brilliant, the ideas are wonderful, but they need to ensure that these are executed properly, these are implemented properly. The conditions should not be bad, should not be tough, that we are unable to meet them and are unable to really take the opportunity and grab the benefits.
Okay, at this juncture, I'd like to thank all the panelists for joining us here. The sugar stocks have been in focus. The minimum price that has been fixed at is 29 rupees a kilogram. Industry was hoping it will be 30 to 31 rupees a kilogram. Stay tuned. We're going to get you more takes on this, including from our in-house expert, Maithili Busnamat. Stay tuned for that. For now, we're totally out of time, so we're going to wrap up. My thanks for watching.